Quickly before we begin, if you're only here because of the thumbnail and title, then please skip to the time marked on the screen now. For the rest of you, please enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play. In today's video, we're going to be working on this building. This is going to be the museum and or library. I created the skeleton for this in between episodes, and it looks decent. We might update this a bit throughout the episode. But the idea is to have two storages in here, stages, where on the lower floor we're going to have all of our books, maybe even a way of getting some XP, and on the top floor we're going to have the museum, a way of storing our rare items, like our old guard armor and the dragon egg. But before we begin, I would also like to mention that between episodes I've done some changes to our witch farm. So now instead of killing them manually, they are going to be teleported to the Nether, so they don't fill out the mob cap and then get killed. It was actually quite a simple change, just had to change up create this floor right here to kill them. Move the portal back a bit here, in order for them to not sync up. And if we go down here, create the portal right there. So when they spawn, they will go through. As you can see right there, they will immediately go to the Nether, which means that we can have new ones spawning very quickly. But this is going to be our focus today. This building's area is definitely going to need some terraforming, but we will do that later. So, the idea I have for now is to have all the books here on the lower floor, and probably have an enchantment table here on the ground. And ideally, I would also like to have a way of getting easy XP accessible right here. But which way I'm not sure about yet. Previously in this series, we have used furnaces as XP containers. And that worked quite well, but was quite a hassle to set up and sort of a hassle to maintain as well. I've sort of tried to implement it here by being able to lock the hoppers underneath, so I can just cook up one item and then get the XP stored on them. So we can sort of use this, but I don't think that's very ideal. Another way of doing it is by using a grindstone, having a bunch of junk books lying around and then using those. That could be a way. But I do actually think that probably the best way would be to use XP bottles. We have the villager breeder over here, and we do also have a couple of, or what they called, clerics. They sell XP bottles, some of them for regular prices. And I think we're actually in somewhere have a bunch of XP bottles stored already. So I think if we get more clerics, we should be able to get a lot more XP bottles, and that might actually work just fine. And I might even have a smart idea for how we're going to do that later in the episode. But for now, let's look at these rooms. We will have all of the books in this lower floor, and attempt to have a few free spaces, so we're able to add books if new ones arrive in the next updates. And I think that we're going to have the main books that we use right in here, like mending and protection. The only question now is the design. And currently I'm just kind of placing blocks trying to figure out what works. The only thing I really feel like works definitely is having bookcases, because it's supposed to be books right here, right? So we could, for example, have this for storing books, right? Let's go type mending in here, and we know this one is for mending. We could just do protection, and so on. I'll try and figure this out off camera. Well, I guess this definitely confirms that we need a new villager breeder. How did this happen? There's spawning another one. So this is what we have now. Kinda simple, and I'm going to add more detail to it, but let's start with this. And we got a bunch of books put in already, making it nice and simple. Down here, I've hidden an enchantment table, and done this little contraption, so if we need any XP, we can go over here. And I think there's also... okay. Alright, that needs to be optimized a bit, I think. But yeah, the idea there, it just needs to be pointed down, I think. It's quite simple. The pressure plate... the pressure plate activates the piston that you see right here, which pushes this observer, starting an observer clock, which activates this dispenser. And then we are able to just get the XP. And we are able to fill up the shulker box with XP bottles. And yeah, simply phasing the dispenser down fixed the problem. It is not as nice looking, but yeah, I can live with that. And with a few more details in, I think that we are ready to get started on the second floor. In this build, I am drawing a lot of inspiration from a picture I found on Pinterest made by Nisha. I will make sure to leave a link for his picture in the description. But the idea I really like is to have these sort of sections on this floor, so that we are able to have multiple items sort of sectioned off. For example, have our armor in here, have the dragon egg in here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do some changes to this, but the idea is very nice, since this floor is going to be used to show off our trophies and stuff like that. This is actually not half bad. So we could have the dragon egg in here, and yeah, the god armor, and I don't actually know what else. That's like the only things we have, I think. But there's space for it now, at least. And this is it. I feel like it looks quite great. Oh, I have to fill these out as well. So, place in the dragon egg, and I tried to implement it with just a little bit of height difference, also so that when we go down here and look, we can see that there's like 2 stages for it. There might be a bit too much of these trapdoors, but let's stay with it for now. And I did my best in terms of lighting to try and eliminate any spawnable spaces. So I think I have some right here nearby. I know at least I have to eliminate the spawning spaces right here. I removed this one. The only problem that I really encountered was that I wanted to have the wood right here, but there was actually stone. So if we go to the outside, we'll be able to see that. I had to be a bit creative and place this like little wall here. No. It's actually not completely done yet. But yeah, like, it does not look as good, but you won't really notice this. It's such a small thing. So for now, the guard armor isn't right here. Just placed a few dragon heads over on the top. The, what can we call it, guard book, a book with a lot of enchantments on, is right here. I honestly would prefer to have the armor on an armor stand. However, I don't really feel comfortable doing that, because very often when there's a new update or entities die, and since that counts as an entity, it would die and then risk losing our armor, and this is literally one of a kind. We can't remake this. So yeah, I think I'll stay with this. And for now, I've just added the wither skull and the totem of undying here. I'm gonna change this to another star, I think. Just kind of like things that you can get from bosses, but it's a bit boring to look at. An idea I had was that it could be fun to try and collect all the different mobs' heads using a charged creeper. Maybe making it a farm of some kind. That could be quite fun for the future. But I think we'll leave this area for today. I don't really have any more ideas. It would be nice to do something with the roof and maybe extend this top part, but my creativity won't really allow it currently. So instead, let's address the XP bottle problem. We need to get a lot of XP bottles, and I kind of realized, since we have the gold farm right here, and it generates a large amount of rotten flesh that we don't really use for anything, why not have a large amount of clerics right here that we're able to trade with, and then just buy XP bottles that way? So that will be the goal. But in order to do that, we'll first of all need to generate a lot of, farm a lot of villages, and we need to get them up here. So I'm trying to create a hole that we can use in order to get them up. And I can't remember if I've shown this design before. This is one I found online, and I'll leave a link for this in the video description. Quite simple actually. The only thing it does require is that you have an auto clicker. So if I hold down B right now, it clicks 10 times a second. So I do this, hold down B. And as you can see, it removed the bedrock already, yeah. And I'm going to use this to create a way bigger hole that we can use. And I think we should do a little montage of this. And there we go, we have a direct tunnel that actually looks, well, kinda decent. We will have to shine it up a bit. But it goes all the way down, making it very easy to get up and down. And here on the bottom, I've placed hay, meaning that even if we slam into the ground as hard as we can, we don't take that much damage. Making it very easy to get up and down. If you happen to notice a few weird cuts in the montage, that's because I had to go and refill my materials, get more TNT and stuff like that. And sometimes I forgot to turn on the recording again. But yeah, we will need to create one more hole, I think, where we'll have the flying machine to get the villagers up and down. But we first need to get a few more villagers. Meaning we have to fix the villager breeder. I've been testing for a bit, and I figured out that we actually just can have it all the way over here, so it works while we are trading. As long as we just ensure that there is no path between where they are and where the rest are. Then we should probably be fine. So I'll try to more or less copy this over here with a few changes. Hey, it already works. So yeah, I just used a design by Logic Geek Boy, I think. And yeah, oh, perfect. So because the villager babies now want to try and jump on the bed, I can't remember if this is a new feature. Whenever they spawn inside this area, well done, they will automatically go to the bed. And that way we can just contain them. And since they are not able to pathfind to anything else, I don't think any of this should influence each other. And I think this will just basically go on forever, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna do a bit of a test. And hey, there already came another one. So, wow, it's already like way more effective than the other one, I think. So yeah, we'll need to do a big AFK session at the villager breeder at some point. But for now, let's figure out how to get them up there. As mentioned before, we are likely going to make an elevator of some kind to transport them up. But my idea was to have it right here. And a problem I've encountered that I just can't find a solution to is that because we have the carpet right here, we're not able to get a boat up. And I had all sorts of ideas of lowering the floors using sticky pistons and stuff you can already see I have cleared because I tested it out before. But it just doesn't work. And I've not really been able to find a solution until I realized that why not just use one of these? This one is not in use anyway, so might as well, right? And that would actually look kind of great. In terms of the elevator, I think we're just going to go with something relatively simple like this. So we can have the boat, we can get a villager over here, click this. Oh. Well. Alright, that was better. I don't really know what happened before. But yeah, that way we're able to get them up, and there's a button here as well to get them down. Works better if the boat is actually on it, but yes. So I think we're gonna build that. And there we go. I just went ahead and built it. Since this build is relatively simple, the only change I made is that I placed the button here so that I don't need to turn the boat, making it a bit more natural. Place it right there. And you can see I've already made the hole. And yeah, let's just take a little trip. There we go. Relatively slow, but hey, it works. That's the important part. And we can take this out. And we can get it to wherever we want. It's a bit away from, well, the rest, but doesn't matter. And then we can get it down again. But I think that will be everything we'll do for this episode, since that this is already taking quite a while to make, and I think the episode is already getting kind of long, so this seems like a good place to end it. But I hope that you enjoyed it. We will continue on this, I think, next episode, probably. And yeah, I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching.